Hi.
Hello.
Happy Friday.
Hello. Happy Friday.
Katie was just telling me she's going to see William Eyelash in concert, as one Rainn Wilson, aka Dwight Schrute, calls her.
William Eyelash.
Do you know she's a huge fan of The Office?
Oh, well, as she should be. I love her. That makes me love her even more.
So she's like me. She has to be listening to something at all times. So she just like puts it in her pocket and it's playing. So he came over and he kept calling her William Eyelash, which is right up there with Dula Peep for me. I will never call her by her name.
Dula Peep.
To do a quiz, like to see how, because she says she's the biggest fan that's ever lived. I got 100% on that quiz. I was screaming in my phone. I'm like, Rainn, come quiz me.
I love that. I'm obsessed. Yeah, I know. I'm really excited to see her. She's amazing. So talented.
Oh, I would love to
Perfect,
see.
yeah.
I would love to see her live. Did you see the encampment that her fans built that the city kicked out because people were lining up in tents 9 days before her show? I'm sorry. I know. I feel the same way about Coachella. Even when people get there the moment the gates open and sprint and then stay, I always wonder, how do they pee? I just pee so much.
They pee and
That is crazy. So like to sit there for one day, for 9 days, like you guys, that is, I know you wouldn't do that. That's crazy.
No, I wouldn't wait for 9 minutes in a line. Are you kidding me?
That's so true.
I don't do lines. Katie doesn't do lines. Katie doesn't hike. Katie doesn't, there's what else?
Katie refers to herself in the third person. I am so passionate about hating hiking. I know we've discussed it.
I don't care. I don't care. That's not it doesn't make me a lazy person. It's like, it's not a flex to hike, by the way.
No, I'm a lazy person because I'm a lazy person. The not wanting to hike has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Like it just is what it is. But
I have my lazy moments, but no, put me on a walking trail. I'll walk circles around
we
you.
flat walk all the time.
I love a hot girl walk. I love a walk that ends at a brunch spot,
which we often do.
I'd love to walk around a city. I love to get lost. I love a walk.
Same. I just don't want it to be at an incline.
Not an incline. No, I don't like it. My knees, my ankles, my shins don't like it. I don't know. I grew up in the mountains. There was tons of hiking. I've done tons of it. So it's not that I've never had experience or I went on great hikes or anything like that. I did it all. I just am here to tell you from experience, I don't like it.
One time, because I used to live near Runyon, and I time was like, well, maybe I just haven't given it a shot. And when I was working remotely, so like during the day I would go and do that. And I remember I got to the top of it and I once took a video and posted on my story and I had my headphones in, so I wasn't like paying attention. And everyone responded back and was like, "You're breathing?" I was like, like so winded. Welcome to Disrespectfully
with Katie Maloney
and Dana Cathan.
Unapologetically,
we're here to do what we want to do.
Spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
disrespectfully. I've done Runyon hundreds of times.
Oh,
hundreds.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. And then I finally was just like, I'm not doing this anymore.
I'm just like, I'm going to be honest with myself. I fucking hate this.
No, I hate this. And one time I heard literally a probably 8-year-old child. I wrote it into Overheard LA and they like responded but didn't make a thing of it. The dad was like saying something and this kid goes, "I don't hike in my Yeezys, Dad." I fucking hate LA. No, I'm just kidding. I love it here.
That's on that.
We should do a quick disclaimer because we only did it at the end of the last episode. Yes. You guys, if you didn't hear it, next week we're off. It is the only week we're taking off for the year, obviously. I saw a video yesterday and they're like millennials being like, don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So there's no episode on Wednesday. There's no episode on Friday.
No new. There are many. We have a catalog if you'd like to go back and sit with us. But
if you need to catch up. But there won't be any new episodes next week.
The team needs the time off. We need the time off. So we're just going to take a moment and breathe. And yeah, but we love you so much and we will be back on the 1st.
Yes, you will. Anyways,
should we do our show?
Let's do the show. Let's do some hometown heroes.
Hometown heroes.
Hometown heroes.
Ho, ho, ho.
Also, if you guys like my beanie, you can pick one up on disrespectfullypod.com.
You sure can. And then while you're at it, you can go from there to Gmail or whatever, Hotmail. I don't know what you use. I'm not one to judge, but
disrespectfullypod at Gmail and send in your hometown hero stories or your WWDDs.
WWDDs.
Do you got problems, issues you want us to solve or weigh in on, or some good advice or terrible advice? I don't know.
We got answers. We're not saying if it's right or wrong, but we have something to say.
Yeah. We got opinions and we'll share them. Okay, anyways. Hometown hero, let's go. All right, Samantha says, "Hi, Dana, Katie, and disrespectfully team."
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Hey. I have to say, I've been a Katie fan from day one. The number of times my partner has listened to me rant and yell, and Katie was right again. That's right. Dana, you are a bright and badass light on an otherwise hard VPR season. And I'm so glad Disrespectfully and your lovely friendship is something that we got to witness as a result. Thank you. All right. I've been racking my brain for stories to send in. Nothing juicy yet, or maybe juicy, but also a bummer. Shout out to the girls, gays, and theys whose stories are funny, but also marred by a lot of, maybe that wasn't super consensual, or that was definitely trauma taking the wheel. LOL. But the recent Heauxmetown Hero, HH, episode with the shoplifting story has me writing in.
Yes.
To confirm, I do think that shoplifting is a girly pop phase. And I choose to look at it as a preemptive reclamation of the money stolen from us by the pink tax. So it's really an act of revolutionary protest. I agree.
Oh my God.
Pink tax reclamation. I like that.
You know what? I never thought of it that way, but you're sure right. And I am such a hyper paranoid person. After we shared those stories, I mean, you got caught, you paid you did your time and whatever. I was literally like waiting for the fuzz to show up at my door. I mean, mind you, I was a literal child, but I was like stealing underwear. But yeah, anyway, thrilled that hasn't happened.
You might be able to relate to this.
Okay.
But I'm writing specifically to tell my shoplifting story, triggered by Dana sharing how she was raised in a shoplifting won't fly household. Mm-hmm. When I was young, I think like 7, I mustered the courage to ask my mom for a pack of gum at the grocery store checkout. She said no. The audacity. JK, we were pretty poor at the time. So when I thought she wasn't looking, I stuffed a pack of Hubba Bubba in my winter jacket. It was exhilarating.
Have you ever heard of that?
Hubba Bubba? Of course.
I've never heard of that. I know you stole the Bubble Yum.
Yeah, Hubba Bubba was like kind of similar to like Bubblicious.
Was it the circle thing? Oh.
Remember they had those like the big chunks of gum.
Wait, is this a Mandela effect thing? Do I remember the Bubble Yum thing is a pierced tatted goose? That's right. As their thing, their
I think so. Yeah,
mascot. That's really disrespectfully coded for the silly geese out there. But sorry, keep going.
My mom finished paying, and I was convinced I was in the clear. Poor naive baby. I remember everything that happens from this point on with a clarity that only scarring childhood memories can create. Right as my mom is getting ready to drive my getaway car home, she says she forgot something in the store. Odd, but okay. I bide my time in the car until she comes back. That's when the high of my petty theft was replaced with a fear like I had never felt before. A giant, authoritative, middle-aged man in a grocery store uniform towers in front of the car door and demands I empty my pockets. I politely decline and tell him the only thing in my possession is a marker. You know, the unmistakable Hubba Bubba shape kind of markers. My mom instructs me to empty my pockets, so begrudgingly, I hand over the pack of gum. The way this man proceeds to scare the living shit out of me, yelling that he could call the police and that they would take me straight to jail forever, among other threatening things. So naturally, I respond by bawling and begging him to spare my young life. Turns out my mom went back in the store to find some sadistic employee to scare the shit out of me. Joke's on them, though. This did not stop me from teenage shoplifting. Of course not, right?
Good.
And for the record, the grocery store from my attempted robbery is a chain owned by one of the richest billionaire men in Canada. And he was fined by the government for price gouging customers at the height of the pandemic. All to say, he is totally honest dude who is definitely against stealing. My bad. Eat the rich, etc. My mom and I were estranged for a while and she passed away a few years ago. But I've always wondered if she expected that man to go so hard on a literal child who was willing to risk it all for a sweet little treat. Care from Toronto, Canada, and wishing you both happiness in hard times. That was such an amazing story. I just was obsessed the way she wrote it and just told that story. It was amazing.
No, the 10 out of 10 Heauxmetown. I was about to be like, when the guy came out, I was going to be like, I mean, this is just how my mom was. The quickness at which my mom would have gotten in someone's face and been like, back the up. But alas, it was the mom.
Yeah, it was like those Scared Straight sort of shows, you know?
Yeah, where's Dr. Phil? Dr. Phil comes out.
This is like almost like exactly like the time I stole gum from the grocery store and like hit it up my shirt. And then I got home. My mom's like, why are you holding your shirt like that? Your stomach? I'm like, I'm not. She goes, move your hands. And then the like little piece of bubble gum falls down. And she goes, and she drove me back to the store and made me go in and apologize for it and the whole thing. It's like such a similar. Do we all have the same experiences? It's weird. That was weird that like my wasn't like a unique experience.
Well, if the clock app has taught me anything, I've never had a unique experience in my entire godforsaken life.
Exactly. But I loved it. Thank you.
That was so good.
Thank you so much. What was her name? Samantha. I love that story.
Yeah. Love you, Sam.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Holidays on the house at DraftKings Casino, baby. With this season's offerings, you'll unwrap everything you wish for. From table games and jackpots to a slot at the top of everyone's list. Jingle Bells Power Reels.
DraftKings is offering a warm welcome to new players because you don't want a cold welcome. You want a nice warm hug when you get to the casino.
Oh, that's all. I love that.
$100 instantly in casino credits with just a $10 wager. So it's like, okay, free money. Go slay mama. Plus, everyone can get in on the action with a holiday reward every week.
So sign up with code disrespectfully because the holiday cheer is here. Only on DraftKings Casino.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Opt-in required. Casino credits are non-withdrawable and will expire in 168 hours. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos.
This Christmas, give the gift that truly keeps on giving, a lifetime membership. Lifetime?
Your whole lifetime.
Wow. Membership to Rosetta Stone. It's 50% off all 25 languages for a lifetime and no shipping fees. You can learn all the languages in a lifetime.
Imagine the amount of I haven't learned a lot, but you have a whole lifetime to do it. So that's great. There is nothing better than the gift of language, and Rosetta Stone is perfect for anyone looking to learn or improve their language skills.
Yeah, perfect.
So maybe I should get it so I can
what
figure that
language
out.
Is that? We both love to travel, and there's nothing better than going to another country and being able to understand their language.
Truly am excited to learn Spanish this year. I hate that we are not bilingual. Like as a people in America, everywhere else in the world, it's just standard. And like here, not saying that people aren't, but like more people need to be.
Especially when you can like be in a conversation and like be like, able to like talk a little shit.
Yeah.
That's really the whole point of learning another language.
I want to have some hot goss.
Yeah.
With the locals. And how can I do that if I don't know what's going on, if I don't know the business?
Mm-hmm. Or you want to be able to like listen in and see if people are like talking shit on you because they don't think they hear you, you're speaking English.
Mm-hmm.
How would you possibly know what they're saying about you?
Right.
Little do they know, you got Rosetta Stone.
You got Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone is a trusted expert for 30 years with millions of users and 25 entire languages offered.
They offer Spanish, French, Italian, German, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch, Arabic, Polish, and more. More.
Rosetta Stone immerses you in many ways. And what I love most is that they really use an intuitive process so you can pick up a language naturally. Because it's not intuitive, I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm. First with words, then with phrases, then with sentences.
Yeah.
We crawl, we walk, we run. And then you kiss. That's right.
It's also designed for long-term retention, so you're not going to forget that.
And they have speech recognition with a built-in true accent feature that gives you feedback on your pronunciation.
Judging.
It's like having a personal trainer, but, for your accent.
Yeah. And I love how convenient it is. You can learn anytime, anywhere. They have a mobile app so you can learn on the go, in the car. That's a good place to do it. So no one else can hear you absolutely botching another language. That's embarrassing.
It's a safe space.
And they have it so you can also just do it on your desktop, maybe on your lunch break at work.
Also, it's really the best bang for your buck. And we love a bang for our buck. You get a lifetime membership. I don't know if you remember that, but you get a lifetime membership and it has 25 languages for any and all trips and language needs in life.
That's a lifetime access to all 25 language courses Rosetta Stone offers for 50% off. That is a steal.
It's a steal without getting, arrested for shoplifting, which is great. We love that. We love that here. Don't put off learning that language. There really is no better time than right now to get started. Today, Disrespectfully listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/disrespectfully.
That's 50% off, unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/disrespectfully today for yourself or as a gift that keeps giving.
This holiday season, we decided that we want to gift our loved ones something that makes them feel really special and really unique. That's why we're giving everyone we care about Storyworth. Hello.
Here's how it works. Each week, Storyworth emails your loved one a thought-provoking question that you get to help pick. Bunch of questions. Things like, what's the bravest thing you've ever done? What's the farthest you've ever traveled? Or how did you used to get to school every day?
Or what is the biggest loser you ever dated?
Really thought-provoking. Storyworth makes the writing process a breeze. All your loved one needs to do is respond to that email with a story. Long or short, it really doesn't matter.
You'll be emailed a copy of your loved one's response as they've submitted over the course of a year. Pretty straightforward.
After that year of fun, Storyworth compiles your loved one's stories and photos into a beautiful keepsake hardcover book that you'll be able to share and revisit for generations to come.
I mean, we love those generations. We got to give them something to do because TikTok's going to be gone. They'll be bored. So thank God they'll have something to keep them busy. I mean, honestly, this is such a good idea because you don't know how long you'll have the people in your life. So you can gather all their little anecdotes and put them in one cute place.
You know, exactly.
Like I have my baby book that is basically a fossil at this point, and I still like cracking it over, getting the dust off it every now and then.
Yeah, why does it make that noise?
I don't know. It smells like old library.
Sounds like me in the morning when I get out of bed.
Yeah, everything's cracking. And yeah, I just love that.
Me too.
Families love Storyworth, and also like families like, didn't Terry do this?
Yes.
Yeah, families love this.
Terry Maloney loves it.
She loves it. That has her written all over it. Families love Storyworth, and that's why it has more than 35,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot with millions of stories preserved since they were founded over 10 years ago.
With Storyworth, I'm giving those I love the most a personal gift from the heart and preserving their memories and stories for years to come. Go to storyworth.com/disrespectfully and save $10 on your first purchase.
That's storyworth.com/disrespectfully to save $10 on your first purchase. Andy says, hello, ladies. First of all, I love the pod so much. It is absolutely a highlight of my week. Thank you for both being so authentic and hilarious. Dana, when you were talking about how you looked up what phase the moon was the night of the Titanic sunk, I just about died laughing. Wait, just like my chin hair this morning, I was like feeling so nostalgic about the early days of Disrespectfully. This is, what the fuck have we been talking about all year? This is so funny.
I miss our Titanic like phase that we were in. That was great.
Crazy. I know when Reb brought it up the other episode, I was like, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. I literally watch the Titanic once a year and the next week bother everyone in my life saying, but I'm serious. Can you imagine dying like that? Andy, did I pretend to be Andy and write this in? This is insane. Because for some reason, I feel the need to ruminate on how painful it would have been. I feel so bad for those people. And that is my actual worst nightmare. I am the queen of, it's an OCD thing for me, but I'm the queen of rumination. And that's why like I watch so many September 11th documentaries and then rewatch them and rewatch them and rewatch them because I like need to feel what they felt. And it's so awful.
Damn, that is sadistic.
No, it's not like fun for me. I just have to do it. It's like,
someone's got to do it.
Yeah, I'm like,
I guess it's got to be me.
I just had my annual medication appointment yesterday. They didn't up me on anything, but they were like, I talked about going down on my mood stabilizer and they're like, no, we'll stay with that. So anyway. This story is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
This story is ridiculous, and I thought maybe you'd find it funny. So around the time TLC released the music video for Unpretty, a fan had written to TRL saying that the song had saved her life. She got invited to meet TLC on TRL because her letter and her story were super moving. Being a shithead little 9-year-old and not considering why it was insensitive and selfish, it gave me an idea. At the time, I was obsessed with Cisco.
Stop it. Oh my God. 9? And the thong song?
I was like 7 when that 8 when that came out. I remember watching the music video and just like seeing the black light. I
just think of like Cisco performing at like the spring break like house.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yes, I want to be
dreaming
that.
of. I always dreamt I would go there. Yeah. Another.
Why was that the dream to go to the MTV spring break house?
There was just clap floating around that water, and we were all like, "Get me in!" I was like, "I want to go there and flash people."
I need that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I wanted to go like just shake my ass there.
It's like the younger sister on Mean Girls watching the Girls Gone Wild tape. She's like, "Woo!" That was essentially me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that guy that put out the thong song, there was something about that silver hair I could not resist. He really was the pioneer of that.
Yeah, he was.
So I decided that I would also write a letter to TRL saying that Cisco's hit song saved my life, and I would go on to TRL and meet the man of my dreams. Obviously, that never happened. I heard the thong song somewhere recently for the first time in a very long time, and the memory resurfaced. It made me wonder if anyone ever opened the envelope and found a letter in children's handwriting proclaiming that the thong song saved their life. What can I say? I was young and stupid. I hope you at least got a chuckle out of this absurd story. Thank you, ladies, for all you do. Disrespectfully, Andy.
Andy, you sound so interesting to me. Like you were over here, like just reminiscing on the pain about the people in the Titanic, and then talking about the thong song changing your life.
I mean, that's so good.
Yeah.
I just like everything about your brain. And actually, another thing we have in common, Andy, I think I sent in a letter to, not to TRL, but to TLC's fan club, just like a fan letter. Do you remember Fool's Gold?
The actual Fool's Gold?
Yeah, but it's not real gold. It's obviously it's fake.
It's like
but
yeah.
why did we all have that? I obviously didn't know how fucking stamps worked. And I put a piece of Fool's Gold in it. And so it was like chunky, and then it obviously got like returned back to us. They probably didn't even take
to
it.
Send them Fool's Gold.
I don't know why. I was just like, here's a trinket. This is what I have to offer you.
Oh my God.
Anywho,
I think the only person I ever wrote fan letter to was like Jonathan Taylor Thomas or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man,
JTT.
The way I loved him.
I know.
Like nobody else loved him the way I loved him.
Yeah. Nobody would get him like you. Anyway, Andy, love your brain.
Yeah, truly love the way you fucking think. Jay says, hello, disrespectfully queens. Before I get into it, I just want to say to both of you how comforting I find the pod and how much I appreciate the two of you. I was recently diagnosed with OCD this summer, and this pod gave me a little light in a very dark time. Now onto my story. Well, I'm happy to know that.
Yeah, I'm glad you got diagnosed. It's easier when you have the diagnosis. And also, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
We're not alone.
All right. When I was a kid, I was generally very well behaved. However, sometimes I thought pulling an epic prank on my parents/brother was the funniest thing ever. So when I was 4 years old, I thought it would be hilarious to take pictures of my logs of poop in the toilet and of my bare butt on our family's digital camera and wait for an unsuspecting victim, my mom, to turn on the camera and find it.
Oh my God.
4 years old? That's hilarious. Okay. The year was 2004, pre-smartphone, and taking your SD card to get pictures physically printed in the store was a standard practice. Yeah, I know. I was like fully like a teenager when doing that shit. That's funny though.
I know.
Thanks for explaining.
I did the quick math there. You are 24.
Thanks for explaining it though. A few days after my photo shoot, I was playing on GameCube with my brother when my mom came home from Costco like a bat out of hell. She had gone to get the photos printed, but didn't bother to look at them on our camera first. So she put the SD card in at the photo machine at Costco. To her surprise, the first pictures that popped up were my logs in the toilet and my bare little 4-year-old bum, plastered in full size on the monitors. To make matters worse, there was a line behind her, and everyone in the Costco got an HD view of my butt and its contents. I started having a laughing fit, thinking this was one of my best epic pranks. However, that night I had to talk about responsible use of technology and how there are scary people out there that take photos of children in bad way. Photos of children in a bad way. Needless to say, I was banned from using our family camera again. And now every time as an adult, when I take a picture-worthy poop or my butt looks nice, I can't help but giggle at this memory. Love y'all like my sisters. XOXO Jay from Canada.
Okay, Jay, you are really advanced for your age. To do that at 4 and come up with that is like, kudos to you.
Yeah, to like know how to use the camera and then be like, I'm gonna take pictures.
Your poor mom is probably so shocked.
I have a really good idea for a Christmas prank. You know how like smart TVs, you can like hook up your phone to like play like, you know, a camera. I think you should be like, oh my God, I want to like show you some pictures from like my trip or something. I don't know, make something up and then sneak a couple of those pictures in there just for like a nice like callback memory.
Well, we've heard stories written in before where people were doing that and it's like nudes on there. So just make sure your nudes aren't.
Well, yeah, no,
there,
just have like a,
yeah,
but I think it just would be like a funny thing to do.
I do too.
I think you, at some point you gotta do it.
I mean, that is such a funny story. And honestly, we haven't talked about poop in like 3 weeks. So
Picture worthy poop. That's hilarious.
Kelsey says, "Hi there. I love the pod and think y'all are just the best. I've debated about sending this in, but I think y'all will find it at least a little bit funny. When I was a sophomore in college, I had just gotten out of a really abusive relationship and was seeking out pretty much any and all kinds of male validation due to very low self-esteem. Dating apps were pretty much an everyday thing, and I ended up texting and flirting with quite a few guys. One of them actually seemed really sweet, and we very quickly started talking all the time. We would text, call, Snapchat, you name it. He seemed like the perfect Southern gentleman. The story takes a turn when I go and visit his home for the first time. He lived about an hour away and wanted me to come over to his house. When I get there, I learned he does not look the same as he did in all of the pictures he had sent. When we get to his bedroom, his mattress is completely bare except for one pillow. There are no sheets, blankets, or pillowcases. I choose to look past this, and we kind of hung out watching Below Deck.
Oh, okay. Well, points for that.
He then tells me that his dog just had puppies. I obviously say I'd love to see the puppies. He brings out like 6 little beagle puppies, and I'm overjoyed until one of them pees all over the bed. Now, I completely understand that puppies don't know any better, but this man made 0 moves to clean up the accident. I said I'd even help him clean it, and he tells me not to worry and we can just stay on the dry side of the mattress. For whatever reason, I stayed and we just squeezed into the slim portion of the mattress not covered in pee.
No, I would have insisted. No.
After a little while, we started making out or whatever, and it was not good. This man was the worst kisser I'd ever been with. He was slobbering all over me and telling me he's going to give me a pearl necklace. Ew. I had no idea what that meant. When I asked, he just laughed and said I'd like it. He keeps kissing me in my neck, and soon he tries to take my pants off. I call it quits and make my escape. I previously told him we would not be having sex, and him ignoring that boundary was the straw that broke my back. On my way home, I had to stop for gas, so I pulled into a random gas station. When I go in to pay for my gas, the woman at the counter takes one look at me and clutches her pearls. It was an older lady, and all of a sudden she's asking me if I'm okay and if she should call the police. I'm beyond confused, and when I asked what she was talking about, she goes, "Oh, honey, did someone try and kill you?" I am so lost, and she tells me that I have severe bruising all around my neck. I run into the bathroom, and sure enough, it looks like someone tried to strangle me. The pearl necklace this man gave me was a string of horrible, nasty hickeys across my neck. I cried and then have to explain to this poor, sweet lady that I was perfectly fine. The police were not needed. I drove straight to Walmart to buy a turtleneck as I was in the middle of my student teaching for school and had to teach middle schoolers the next day. The moral of the story, I guess, is not to ignore red flags when they present themselves, and more importantly, don't equate yourself with male validation.
Yuck.
Facts.
Yuck.
Thank you all for reading. I hope you enjoyed this story from back in my hoe days. So sorry it was long. Disrespectfully, Kelsey.
Well, okay, if it's not, it's technically not a pearl necklace, so what kind of necklace would we call that?
If you don't know what a pearl necklace is, it's usually, as Samantha Jones says, when a guy decorates your neck. So, skeet skeet, and then, pearl necklace.
Yeah.
So that's not technically, but like, he was very, I've had
He bees his L
hickeys
on
in my
your,
life.
yeah.
Bees his L on your T's and your N. But to do hickeys I've obviously never had that. I've had them really bad, but like,
yeah.
what a weirdo. And I can just totally, because hickeys do when they look purpley, like I bet I can totally picture what
How
she
do we
looks
feel
like.
about hickeys? Are we still into hickeys? Are hickeys still a thing?
The problem is, I love the way it feels. I do not like the look. However, if you take chapstick and you take the top of it and you twist it on him, it comes out. Literally, you just twist chapstick on that. Someone who is a hoe
Actual
told me that.
chapstick or just like the cap?
Oh, we were both in our hoe days. So no, keep it closed and you use the cap and you just twist it and it takes them out.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. Try it. Cold spoons do not work. Twist it and it legitimately removes it. It's the craziest thing ever.
I don't mind like a thing.
How do you
look
like
of
a hickey? How do you feel about hickey?
I love hickeys,
Well,
we talked about this before.
Well, because I had one at the beginning of the year because young people are ridiculous. And I was horrified. It was like, didn't chapstick it off. I don't know why I didn't think of it. That was like a memory that just got sparked. But you can chapstick it off, or I think I had gotten here and realized it. But also the pee on the bed.
No, the pee on the, okay, that, yeah, no, I would have been like, yeah, no, we're going to clean that up. Sir, like, this is where you sleep. Also, like, where is your blankets? Where's your sheets? Where, do you have any bedding? One pillow on a mattress? Like I would have been like, you know what? I'm feeling, yeah, I got to go.
I cannot believe that was his solution to the problem. And also even she like offered to help clean it. Ugh.
No, that is terrible. Actually, I'm not gonna sit there and on someone's bare mattress and then a dog pees on it. And he's like, nah, foul.
Yeah, foul,
dirty foul.
And don't blame yourself for seeking validation.
And then also
male validation was my middle name until literally like 3 years ago.
Yeah, and then if someone's a bad kisser, no, dude, you wasted so much time there. We can't waste time with bad kissers. With dirty people.
I mean, we've discussed bad kissers is such a no for me.
No, it's such a no. because making out's like so fun. It has to be a good kisser.
Yeah. Or even like moderately good. Every woman I've ever kissed my entire life has been a good kisser. So we are not the problem. It is what it is.
No, yeah, it's true. That's very true.
Never kissed a woman that was a bad kisser. Should we solve some problems?
Let's solve some problems.
Dub.
Let's give advice.
WWDD that no one asked. Well, I mean, technically, but we asked them to ask.
Yeah, but you know what? It's advice that you're just going to get.
Underqualified, overenthusiastic. Let's WWDD.
It's good advice, questionable advice, but it's the advice you're going to get because you asked for it. Anonymous says, hello, lovely Coven ladies. I love this podcast so much. It's the girly chats I can't have because my BFFs rudely live too far away. Dana, you are literally. Yeah, that's in Dana's voice. Me, and one day I hope I can muster up the courage you have to do stand-up just like you.
Do it.
Getting to it. I'm 36 and my partner's 37. I moved to a new city with him almost 3 years ago, and he's been the absolute most perfect human ever. It inwardly scares me. I'm always waiting for the other foot to drop, but it never had. I hear Katie in my head, don't go looking or you'll find something. But on my entire life, the universe has always dropped shit off right at my front door. I was texting with my boyfriend who mentioned a Reddit post. We don't know each other's usernames because we don't get on there too much and it just hasn't come up. I searched for the post to kiki with him about it and find a comment that is hilarious and sounds just like my boyfriend. I click on the profile and a not safe for work alert pops up. I'd never seen this before and went to the profile anyway. Based on previous posts, I confirm this was my boyfriend's Reddit account. I clicked comments to go back to the original Reddit posts only to find a slew of comments on photos posted by obvious bots in a Reddit thread called Girls in Current City Name. The posts were extremely explicit and unfortunately so were his comments, basically telling them he wanted to have sex with them. Mortifying, embarrassing. All the comments were 3 years old and right from around the time I was slated to move into our new place. He moved in 2 months earlier than me. Nothing recent at all. When I tell you this is totally out of left field and not at all his personality, I can't even explain the shock. And in my past, I found my ex of 12 years cheated on me with my ex best friend. A story for another day. Jeez. I text him immediately and he says he doesn't know why he did it. Maybe was confused or unsure, but was adamant nothing happened, wants me and only me, etc. I haven't talked to him much since. I feel like my view of him has changed and not for the better. I have tons of thoughts swirling, but would love to hear your guys' thoughts on how you navigate this. Would you consider this cheating and or how would you proceed with the relationship further? Love you both. People can be human, which means they're not going to be perfect. And like you said, this was from 3 years prior, like right before like you like moved in, and you said like the last 3 years have been basically like magic and no reason to suspect anything. And I think if there was something off, there would have been something to tell you that something off, you know, but you've said everything's been great. You were wanting there to be something wrong. But when you brought it up to him, for one, he did not deny it. He did not get defensive. He did not like pick a fight with you. He basically was like, I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe was unsure. Maybe was having some cold feet, was maybe getting nervous. Who knows what it was. But since then, you didn't see anything else. So there's no reason to believe that there was any other behavior that should be called into question. And if he only wants you, he only wants you. I just think, of course, it was surprising and shocking because you were not expecting it. It was probably out of character. If he's open to it, I think you need to keep talking to him about it and ask as many questions as you can until you feel better. And if you can't feel better and this is not something you can move past, and ultimately that's up to you, but you're going to have to decide if it is something that you can. But I think as long as he's willing to be open and communicate with you about this and you be as honest as possible and tell him how it makes you feel. But I wouldn't consider it cheating if nothing happened.
That's what I was going to say. You have to define for yourself what cheating is. Everyone has different boundaries. So
Yes.
What's right for one person might not be for another. And kind of like Katie said, if you can move past it and you think talking to him more about it, then move past it. But if you can't, and this is going to keep coming up, then that's going to be a boundary you'll have to decide. However, like Katie also said, I think that he was forthright and it was a long time ago. And maybe, I mean, I would need to know more of a timeline. Like, were you guys in an official relationship? Because it kind of sounds like it was just the very beginning and it's just comments. It doesn't mean he acted on it. And if everything has been great since then, I personally, this would not be for me a deal breaker. And like, I think that you are, and trust me, this is not coming from a high horse or any place of judgment. This is coming from knowing, because I've experienced it. I've had so many disappointments in relationships that one problem I'm still working through this day is not bringing that into new relationships and waiting for the other shoe to drop, because it will bite you in the ass 100% of the time. So to me, it feels like maybe you're hanging on to this a little more than you normally would because you're worried about it. So
for sure. I mean, 100%. Like if people who have a history of being whatever in their past can disappoint you, or they can't, and then people who've never done anything one day can be a piece of shit. So I mean, I think you have to approach new situations and realize that this is a new situation and a new person, and whatever from your past is in your past, and not to like project all that into this as well. So if things have been great and things have been wonderful, then try to like remember that. Don't throw away the past 3 years just because like you weren't aware about these Reddit comments that happened 3 years ago and nothing since.
Yep.
But it's up to you to decide if you can move on from it.
Danielle says, "Hey ladies, love you both in the podcast. It's my ultimate guilty pleasure. So I'm currently hooking up with one of my best friends. I'm 38 and she's 29. Slight age gap, LOL. We are both bisexual and she is not out to the most people, specifically her family. She comes from a very religious family and her mom would disown her if she were to ever come out to her. I, on the other hand, am out and proud. I have fallen madly in love with her and she has said that she has feelings for me, but is not a relationship type lady. I do know this and I get it. My most recent relationship was with a man and we were together and engaged for 8 years. I'm super conflicted because I don't want to date anyone if it's not her, and would be really devastated if she were to date anyone else. We've been doing this for 2 years and I don't want it to end, but I also don't want it to ruin our friendship. Any advice would help. I'm constantly in my head. Thanks and love you all."
Oh,
well, regarding the friendship, sometimes when you push past those boundaries or, definitions and you cross over into having a romantic or sexual relationship, the friendship can change. And I'm not saying your friendship is destroyed, but I am saying it seems like you want a relationship. 2 years, in my opinion, to be hooking up with someone is long enough for them to know if they'd like to be in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
So I totally understand that she has a dynamic that she's working against. But if she's, number one, not a relationship person, and number two, isn't interested in coming out, I don't think that you guys are on the same page, personally.
Yeah, I think you probably should be working towards reconciling.
Getting back to a place of friendship.
Yeah, getting back to a place of friendship and moving on from this, or any idea that it could be more, because I feel like it would have been at this point. It's not like you don't know each other well enough to decide if this is somebody you want to be with. It seems that if she wanted to make this something more, she absolutely would. But I just don't think it's going to happen. So that sucks. I mean, like unrequited love like that is so difficult because it's the hardest to move past too. So this is probably not going to be an easy one for you.
Also, I want to point out, if that is something you're interested in, getting back to the friendship, and just because you've made the decision that you're not willing to like keep going down this road, number one, it will only get harder as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
But number two, highly, highly recommend taking a cool off period. It doesn't mean you will never be friends again. But once you've had a romantic relationship with someone, even if your goal isn't to be friends, you need to give time for those neural pathways to undo. And it's literally a chemical reaction in our body. So take some time to maybe apart and just see if then you can reset as friends.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Sorry, though, that's a hard situation.
I know, that sucks. But yeah, you got to be on the same page. Anyway, Abigail says, "Hi, beautiful ladies. Dana, your birthday is the day after mine. Love our Leo pride and you on VPR. Katie, you've been real since day one on VPR. I started watching because of my stepdad, Ed."
Shout out
Ed. This is a slightly sad one. I just lost my cat, Sushi. Oh, I love that name.
That's a great name for a cat.
I know, on December 5th. She was my first cat in my own apartment, like my baby. The night I lost her, I cleaned up her things so I didn't have to look at them and put them in a corner for now. If you lost a pet, how quickly would you get a new one? I had her for less than 6 months and just ordered things for her the day she passed. I looked at cats for adoption the same night, but I don't know if I'm ready. How long would you wait, or would you not get another one? Thanks so much. I love y'all so much. You guys make my week so much better. Love, Abigail.
I can speak to this exact situation.
That's why I picked it, because I know that like what you went through with Leo was like really just
horrible.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, I had a cat, Leo, for 6 years. I had him since he was a kitten. And then right when we got back from our Euro trip last year, I found out that he had a really rare heart condition, and they said that he had probably 6 to 12 months and he died 3 weeks later. So extremely traumatizing. If you have never had an animal, like I know people are sometimes like, it's just a pet, but like Leo was my best friend. I have issues around mental illness and anxiety, and I didn't have him registered as a service animal, but he was like very much there. He was there with me during COVID when I was alone and felt super isolated. And yeah, I was absolutely crushed when he died. So I ended up getting Laszlo 6 months later. And the only reason that I got her so quickly is because they're a specific breed. They're Devon Rexes, and they're kind of hard to find. And it worked out to be that way. But however, I will say it was too early for me. I love her now, but it was hard for me the first few months. Like it wasn't like this, oh my God, I got another kitten and I healed. Like Leo is still actually my phone background to this day, and Kati always laughs about me because I love Laszlo, but like Leo was my soul cat, and I don't think that I'll ever connect like that with another animal. But I would say it's a case by case basis. Some people find comfort in getting an animal right away. Some people need more time.
Yeah.
I don't regret her because I adore her now, but it was hard at first. So I said really declarative statements when Leo first died. I was like, I'm never getting another cat. Fuck this. But then sometimes life has other plans for you. So I would just say, see how you feel. And if you feel ready, or even if maybe you go kind of window shopping to adopt a cat and you connect with one, then you'll know. But
I think you can't fill the void of like what that relationship was with that animal. So if like you're just trying to look to like replace it or feel that you're not going to, so maybe, I don't know. I think it's just sort of like sit with it and take time and find out like what you're looking for. Do you want companionship? Do you want to have that type of, like what exactly it is that you're searching for? But there's no rush, and I think you can take all the time you need. It's so fucked up that we get pets and these animals in our lives that we like, that become like family, and we become so close to just for them to like not be with us forever. Like I hate thinking about that. Well, especially when like Butter's like so cute and he's like sitting across the room, and I'm just like, I fucking hate you. That you're just like, that you should outlive me. And then Gordo just with his like little fucking snaggly teeth.
Well, part of the reason I said I'd never get another one is because I was so heartbroken, crushed. Like obviously losing my mom is number one in my life, but Leo is a close second. Like we love our animals so bad. Also, quick shout out to Leo because I miss him every day. He was featured on Vanderpump Rules. It's one of the things I'm most excited about. Leo got a lower third. Yeah. And I'm happy that I have that little clip of him looking so gorgeous. Anywho, RAP Sushi, very, very sorry to hear that happened to you. Anonymous says, hello, beautiful ladies. Huge Vanderpump Rules fan, and have been so happy to see you guys thrive outside of the show. I've always loved how honest and real you two are, so I thought, who better to ask?
Well.
A bit of a tricky situation, and my best friend and I have had a very tumultuous relationship over the years. Just to clarify, our relationship has always been strictly platonic because he's a gay male and I'm a straight female. We became friends when we were young and both dealing with a lot of personal family trauma. Our friendship was intense and often unhealthy due to immaturity and struggles on both sides. Over the years, we have had periods of not talking, sometimes for months, sometimes for years. This past May, after 2 years of no contact, we reconnected and took things very slow. Around September, we had a deep and candid conversation where he apologized for past issues, and we were able to speak openly about everything in a way we'd never been able to before. It was incredibly healing and released a huge weight from our friendship. Both of us have gone through a lot of therapy and learned a lot during our time apart, which has made us stronger and better equipped to maintain a healthy friendship. I feel seen, heard, and safe in ways I never did before in our friendship, and he's made a genuine effort to rebuild. He's become my best friend again, and this time it feels different in the best way. My dilemma is how to tell my friends and family about our renewed friendship. I understand they might be wary or upset, especially given how intense our fights were in the past. Their concerns are valid, but I also don't want to hide a relationship that's brought me so much happiness and understanding. How can I share the news of the people close to me in a way that acknowledges their concerns while honoring how much we've both grown? Any and all advice would be amazing. All my love to you ladies. Well, I think first and foremost, definitely don't hide this relationship. In terms of like, if people find out, it will be harder for them to feel like you're sneaking around or that it's like you feel like there's something to hide, and dishonesty leads to distrust and issues. You don't want that to like fracture out to other relationships.
Yeah.
So I mean, how you share it with them, you just, for me, sit down and you're straightforward and say, look, I can look back and see the timeline. I understand how this looks. I understand we've done it a million times. I understand maybe I've even said it was going to be different, but high level, these are the conversations and breakthroughs we've had. We love each other. And if a relationship is worth salvaging, then you should. And I'm a grown up and this is a person I want in my life. And if you need to have a boundary around that, that's fine. But only time will be able to prove what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think by acknowledging people's valid concerns and also their like that it comes from a place of care and love for you, and like that's the best that you can do, and that's really all you can do. I mean, you know what's best for you, and you're gonna do what's best for you. And I think by just being as open and upfront and honest with everyone in your life, that's that's all you can do. I know it's hard because you want to be able to be fair and honor people and like their feelings, but you have to also honor yourself.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Hope this helps.
Hope this helps. Have you guys heard of LAL?
Is that like laugh out loud or is that something else?
LAL is laser assisted lipo, which is even better. Nothing to laugh at there. And the results from LAL are incredible. I've been looking at those before and afters, which favorite pastime ever. The ones from Sono Bello, and these women look fantastic.
I mean, the amount of time I spend doing that. I just love it. Manifestation, Our friends at Sono Bello are offering you their best deal. Like they're just the best people. You're now included in their friends and family. So when your friends and family are irritating you, just go to Sono Bello for their holiday savings event.
You're going to pay the same price that Sono Bello family and friends pay, but the appointments are limited. So you better run, don't walk.
Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, which I love.
Yeah, it's a brilliant technique that removes that stubborn fat permanently. Gone. Kaput.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Just like your last lover. Wherever your problem areas, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit.
Eating healthy and workouts are great. Obviously, we've heard that a million times, and we should definitely keep doing that. It's all about balance. But if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, I mean, you got to check out Sono Bello because they can hook you up.
Yeah, they can. Save big during Sono Bello's Friends and Family Holiday Savings Event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/disrespectfully.
sonobello.com/disrespectfully. Women's health has been constantly overlooked for generations, and I'm over it.
I love it. No, I'm over it. I've been over it. No, really, the lack of products focusing on women's needs is ridiculous. That's why we're excited about O Positive. I'm not afraid to say it. I have the most sensitive little vagine. The wind blows. My pH is unbalanced. It's so frustrating. And again, men could never understand, but it is so difficult to manage. And these products focus on that.
I mean, no vagine is made of Teflon. So like you're not alone in that. Like the wind blows. If I like get dressed too quickly after a shower, like, oh, pH, whap.
Where to go?
Where to go? Go crazy.
The Eurovaginal products, like my pH balance is clumsy at best. So this really helps center everything.
Yeah. Thank God.
Thank God.
O Positive is on a mission to deliver innovative, clinically backed, fun to take products that support women from their first period to well beyond their last. The Euro supplements are just like 2 capsules a day and it keeps everything feeling like just right. I don't know. I don't have to question.
Kind of fresh.
Because whether it's workouts or just like a long day and, you want to.
Sometimes tight pants throw me off. Like,
100%.
Come on. It's just like a constant battle, but they have the solution. They are committed to breaking down stigmas and addressing the unspoken issues many women experience. Hormone health, vaginal health, menopause, etc. And none of us want to talk about it because it feels embarrassing, but like but
it feels embarrassing, but everyone experiences the same thing.
It.
So it's like, why should it be embarrassing? O Positive's ability to create real, tangible results has made them the go-to brand for millions of women.
O Positive products are available in Target nationwide, and you're going to be at Target probably today. So easy. You can just go there and take a look.
Many factors like sex, working out, hormones, and menstruation can disrupt vaginal health and lead to an imbalance in vaginal flora. So not fair. And pH, unhealthy odor/taste, abnormal discharge, and discomfort. Ugh.
Euro's clinically studied probiotic strains and prebiotic fibers target these issues at the core and support overall vaginal health. Supports healthy vaginal odor, vaginal pH, vaginal flora, and yeast balance, which again, so important.
I know. If you're sexually active, concerned about vaginal scent, taste, often feel vaginal discomfort, or are prone to vaginal imbalance. So basically, if you're a human
with a
woman
vagina.
with a vagina, God, then Euro's for you.
Euro has over 5,000 5-star reviews and is a top-selling product on Amazon and at Target.
Take proactive care of your vaginal health and head to opositive.com/DRF or enter disrespectfully at checkout for 25% off your first purchase.
That's opositiv.com/DRF for 25% off.
Anonymous says, "Hi, Katie and Dana. I love your show, but I never imagined I'd have anything to write in about. That is until I discovered my husband's jerkmate.com account."
We are chuffed to bits that you thought of us when you read
Wow.
jerkmate.com.
First of all, what you doing on jerkmate.com?
I never heard of jerkmate.com. Have you heard of it?
No.
Oh, okay.
What?
Bitch, I don't know your life.
Do I need a jerkmate? Bitch, I don't know. At least you do know my life.
Girl, I'm quoting a movie, but
I feel like you would know.
yeah, I know. I would
this would have come up in conversation if I was aware of jerkmate. Like, so the other day I was on jerkmate.com.
Well, I don't know. Like, I know OnlyFans. I don't have an account. Like, I don't know how big this is, but that's what she said. Anyway, go ahead.
Anywho, my husband and I are both 33 with a 2-year-old daughter, and we've been together since we were 20. On Thanksgiving, after a nice day with family,
He screen mirrored his phone and jerkmate come
I
up.
went to my mom's house to help her with something after putting my daughter to bed. I got home late, about midnight, and when crawling into bed, I went to move my sleeping husband's phone out of the way when I saw that something was playing on it. I picked up and I saw that a live session from Jerkmate had just ended. I had never heard of the site and immediately opened it up. I looked through his account, purchase history, messages, etc., and saw that for the last few months he had been paying to watch private camgirl shows. Some of these shows/sessions cost $100 each, and in the last week he had spent $500. Now, I still don't fully understand what exactly one gets for $100, but I can use my imagination. Money aside, he'd also been consistently messaging one cam girl in particular, saying things like, "I can't stop thinking about you. I'm obsessed with you. Nobody makes me busy like you. When can I see you again?" etc.
I'm not, by the way, laughing at you at all. Just make me busy. I've literally never heard that in my life.
I don't know. I am. We're both in very respectable careers, and to my knowledge, there's never been any infidelity, so I was shocked. Furthermore, when I woke him up to confront him about this, he was annoyed and gaslit me into thinking this is not a big deal because it's fake and it's very normal. I know that my husband struggles with what he perceives as a lack of affection on my end ever since having a baby. I'm a teacher and cater to many needs during the day and come home and jump into mom mode. And at the end of the day, I often need quiet time to myself to recharge. Things have been rocky, but honestly, I thought we were in a good place and we were doing better. He has since apologized more sincerely, but I'm really angry and disgusted by the whole thing, and I feel like I don't even know who this person is. What would you do? Thanks in advance. I like these situations is like always so frustrating because it's like it totally kind of just like turns things on its head, and it's frustrating I think for everybody involved because obviously this person was trying to do something on the low and then they get caught and then this person's upset. You know, it's so I get it, but I think obviously these sites exist because it is normal. And and whether it's okay or acceptable or acceptable or morally sound or however you want to look at it, there's a lot of people that partake in this behavior, and there's a lot of people that make money off of doing these things, and those people that make money off of these have families and they have partners and they have this. So it's not necessarily that they're it's a job as well. So I see it from all these different angles, and so but you are also very valid to feel grossed out and not into the idea of it all, but you know, but like you said, there's things have been rocky, and you know, he's feeling like he's not getting certain things that he needs out of it, but you don't have anything to give at the end of the day, which totally makes sense. But I think all these things are true and can exist, and so I think that you just need to take like a harder look at everything that's going on, and everyone can be responsible and accountable for this. I'm not saying it's all your fault or it's all his fault, but like, to get back to a better place, everyone needs to sit down and be like, how do we fix this? How do we get back to a good place? How, like, if I can't blow you at the end of the day, what do you need from me? So you're not going to like Miss fucking Cam Girl and talking about how she makes you busy. I don't know. Like I just like this is how like
Busy.
this is for y'all to like rectify and fix.
Yeah, I would echo what Katie's saying in terms of you're so valid
Yes.
in how you're feeling, and you know certain feelings he's having are valid. I don't appreciate the way he was gaslighting you, and I do appreciate that you recognize
I think
immediately.
he was a little embarrassed.
Yeah, and I'm glad he apologized more
Yes.
sincerely after the fact, but I think that this is really about you understanding where you're at and bringing it to him. And like Katie said, like you both need to acknowledge and say what you need and then see if you guys can meet in the middle. And, you know, if not, then that's, you know, you'll have to make some decisions, but it's totally okay that you're feeling angry and disgusted. And I honestly do think, like we said about the other one, that people have to decide for them what counts as cheating in your relationship. Cause this is to me a little different than just watching porn. Like he's going and having a kind of parasocial relationship with someone and like saying these things. So that I totally
that I don't like that he's saying like he like misses her and things like that. Like that's taking it like one step further. I don't know if that's part of his like fantasy in it all that like it helps him like get off with it, but that's where he's maybe going a little too far with it.
Yeah. And if that's how you're feeling and you're aligned with that, then it's definitely something that should be brought up. So, and also like having a baby, having a young child and having a full-time job and a relationship is hard. And I also think that it doesn't mean that it would be like this forever. Like having small children is, you know, obviously as they grow, there will be different sets of challenges, but they're not as dependent on you. So it's, you know, I think that you need to, or I hope that he gives you grace for that and understands where you're at. And I hope that you guys can have a productive conversation about, because it's also fair if like he's feeling like some of the things he needs aren't happening, and you know it's just about talking about it and figuring out if you guys can get something that everyone wins.
That's exactly.
Rebecca says, my question is more geared toward Dana, but I'd love to hear any advice. My dad passed away unexpectedly last year. I ended up having to block his entire side of the family due to their backlash of the outcome of his tragic death. Curious how to manage the emotions of losing a parent while letting go of all those other relationships. Well, first of all, I'm really sorry to hear about your dad. That's just, losing a parent sucks ass. I had a similar situation when my mom passed away. I had a falling out with like pretty much everyone. You know, we didn't really have extended family, but like my dad and her friends and, you know, me and my sister felt very isolated and kind of got the short end of the stick on a lot of things. So I was having to manage that. I would say the best that you can do, if I could go back in time, would for me have been to compartmentalize it a little more, because first and foremost, you're dealing with such massive loss in the grief of your dad. So what I think you need to focus on right now is dealing with that and like doing what you need to do, because honestly, a year is nothing in the grand scheme of things. But it's also okay to be angry and frustrated about not having the support network that you would hope to have during that time. So in terms of managing emotions, if you have the resources to seek out a therapist, really helped me during that time, to focus on the people that are in your life that maybe aren't blood family, but are your chosen family. Because for me, that is 100% how I got through that time, was my sister and my friends. And just know that everything will get easier over time, but you're just in the thick of it right now. So I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I think, boundaries are going to be your best friend right now, and to help you with your grief and with your regulating your emotions and everything. It's just like kind of just like really having strong boundaries.
Don't fall into the trap of thinking because you lost your dad that you have to have these people in your life. I don't have regrets about cutting toxic people out of my life and just adopting to what the new normal was. So boundaries.
Yeah. Heather says, hey girls, dating is the pits and I go back and forth frequently with apps. Sigh. But my question for you girls is, how do you feel about a guy or girl mentioning anything sexual before you meet up? I've got some examples. One guy I was texting with, who seemed pretty safe, sent me a selfie. I know that's sort of a way of to make sure you're not being catfished, so I don't really have any issues sending one back. I did, and his response seemed fine until he ended it saying he liked my long hair, probably because he likes to pull his lady's hair. I mean, what? I haven't even met you in person and you want to talk to me about hair pulling. to me, that seems over a line, especially when your profile says you're looking for a long-term relationship. I love talking about sex. Let's find out if we're compatible, but really seems like, why in the world would you mention something that has to do with anything sexual before we even know if we have chemistry? And how in the world will we know if we have chemistry until we meet up in person? What are your thoughts on this? Do you believe there is a time where this is acceptable behavior, especially when both of you have stated that you're looking for a long-term relationship? I know obviously this is about comfort and there's no right or wrong with what you're comfortable with, but would really like your input. Yours truly, annoyed with every man on a dating app. Well, here's the thing. I think guys will say that they're looking for a long-term relationship. They'll say whatever they want on a dating app. So I really wouldn't put too much weight or value on what this says on the dating app. But I think this is also like him trying to like maybe test the waters a little bit with you to see like if you'll play with him a little bit. I don't know.
Well, for me, because I go on and off dating apps, it's the thing about being single in this world. I know that you don't use apps. I have actually really strong feelings about this. Automatic no for me. Automatic red flag. And I think if you ever listen to this podcast, you can probably gather I'm not really like a prude, pretty open-minded. But to me, even if it's something that I'm not looking for seriously, it's just a red flag. Like if before you meet up, they're saying this to you and you haven't even seen each other in person, to me, it's just weird and like uncouth. So for me personally, that's a no. I am not interested in going on a date or speaking with anyone that I've had people be like, oh yeah, I'm just really sexual. And I'm like, if you're a sex addict, just say that. That's fine. But like, obviously we know what that means, like reading between the lines. So decide for yourself. But if you're not comfortable with it, that makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it is definitely all about comfortability. So I think just go with your gut.
Yeah, go with your gut. All right, last one. Kelly says, hello, beautiful ladies. You both are everyday vibes goals. I have a question about drinking. How much do you drink during any given week? No, I'm not laughing because this is serious and I picked this for a reason.
Okay, all right.
How much is too much drinking? I ask because I have 2 medical professionals tell me I drink too much. I get that to the medical field, not drinking is the way to go, but one of these people is my therapist. I have known to be able to keep up with the boys when it comes to drinking. However, I have cut back from almost every weekend to 1 to 2 times a month, and she still makes me feel like I need to run to an AA meeting. I only drink beer and not hard liquor. I also don't drink to get drunk, just a nice chill buzz. I want to know your thoughts and opinions on having some drinks. I'm questioning if she's the right therapist as I just started going to therapy, or will they all just tell me the same thing? Love you both.
I would like to have a word with your therapist.
I do think that people who felt like their drinking habits were a little more out of control than they should be can scale back. I'm not saying that's everyone, and it's honestly probably a smaller part of that population, but full abstinence isn't necessarily the answer to everyone. I will say, you know this because I've talked to my friends and family about this privately, but I definitely drink too much. I've been very open with myself about that for a long time. Alcoholism runs rampant in my family. So it's just something that over the last few years I've noticed and not really loved and have been paying attention to. So I think it's also just step one, a good thing if you know that, and you can have honest conversations with yourself, because I've been around people, I grew up around people that denied that they were alcoholics, but then were alcoholics. And I also think it is a spectrum. So, some people don't have a problem at all. It's also an addictive poison. So if you do have a problem, don't be ashamed of that. Also, a book that I highly, highly recommend for any woman who is questioning their relationship with alcohol is Quit Like a Woman by Holly Whitaker. It was a great book for me, opened my eyes a lot, and really informed where I am with my relationship with alcohol right now. How many drinks do you have a week, Katie?
Girl, what week are we in? I just say when you go to the doctor, they're like, so how many drinks do you have per week? And I'm like,
32? Like,
you want to just pull out an arbitrary number like that? Like, I hate that question. I'm gonna lie.
Yeah,
like
obviously.
A couple, like some social, like but truthfully, like sometimes there'll be like week or 2 weeks that I don't like drink at all. It depends. Like I don't know, dude. Like,
well, for me, I can the same thing. If I'm not drinking, I cannot drink. Like I'm gonna do dry January. I go sometimes a month without drinking or whatever.
So then, yeah, like the days leading up where I'm not doing it, like I don't need to like sit at home and like watch a movie and drink wine. Like I'm gonna not drink. I'm gonna like abstain, be healthy, whatever, and because I know I'm gonna be like doing like back-to-back days of like having drinks.
I honestly don't have a problem saying this. I think the reason I've never said it publicly is, worried about judgment or failing or whatever, but I would identify as having alcohol use disorder. and I'm aware it's a progressive disease. So like that's a thing, but and it's for everyone to decide how they feel about it. But like, again, just like the way that I grew up, I refuse to be that. And it's something I'm still working through. So I'm okay saying that.
I frequently, periodically, whatever. So I check in with my relationship with alcohol. Like, am I drinking too much? And how am I drinking? Like, am I drinking to get drunk? Am I getting drunk often? You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, am I able to like control that? You know, like, am I able to stop? Like, that is important to me because like there was definitely a time in my life where I wasn't able to stop, and I was like, really wasn't able to handle myself on the alcohol, on the sauce. You know, I didn't like
you have to blame it on the goose.
No, like I was waking up with anxiety every day, and like and I hated the way I felt the day after every single time. So I was like, something's got to change. Either I stop drinking or like, what is the issue with that? So it was just like I just couldn't get to the point. I couldn't drink to the point of getting drunk. So I had to like know like my limits. Like don't do shots. Like make sure you eat a bunch. Like have a drink, then have water. Like you just cannot be like drinking to the point of being drunk.
I honestly want to say this because I bet there are people out there listening that are in the same shoes and questioning their relationship and habits with drinking. I'm not someone who gets up in the morning and puts tequila in my coffee. That is not the issue. But for me, I am very high functioning. So I'll go through periods where I'm having 2 or 3 glasses of wine every night. And like, yeah, any doctor will tell you that's alcoholism and whatever. But like, it doesn't affect my job. It doesn't affect, you know, my life and whatever. And so when you're so high functioning, you could technically do those behaviors forever, but like...
It's like you say it doesn't affect it, but like, I could have a better quality of life.
Yeah, no, totally. So I'm just saying, if you're out there and you're wondering about it, you're not alone. And again, it's an addictive poison. So there's really no shame in feeling that. I mean, I'm straight up with everyone else, but also including myself. So if you're questioning it, highly recommend that book. Quit Like a Woman, Holly Whitaker.
Hell yeah.
Cheers to that.
All right. Well, again, next week, no new episodes, but I hope you have a Merry Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler. Hope you have a great Christmas or holiday or whatever you celebrate. And we just...
and we'll be back for the New Year, but...
We'll see you on the 1st.
Yeah, we will.
Happy New Year.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye. Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like, disrespectfully.